This is Overtime with Chris Dewar, only on KHQA.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome as we tip off another edition of Overtime. Joe Morano in for the boss, who is enjoying some well-deserved time off after slamming together our All Do or Die Hoops wrap-up show that you caught at noon today on KHQA. Of course, you can catch that on ConnectTriStates.com later this weekend as well, in case you missed it, but hopefully you didn't. Mother Nature was not too kind to the Tri-States in the wee hours of the night on Friday, and we paid for it today. With cancellations nearly everywhere, we've still managed to scrape together some baseball out of Perry and Macomb, action on the soccer pitch up in Iowa, and much more. But we begin tonight with the Gem City, where the Quincy High baseball team is still trying to gather its footing after a rough patch in the schedule. Things, unfortunately, wouldn't get any easier with Alleman in town. It's the conference opener for Quincy High, and Alleman just gets right to it. In the first inning, Tanner Ledesma gets the RBI off the sac fly to right field. More Alleman later on. Jacob Sharp rips a 2 RBI single into left, and it's 3-0 before you can blink. Alleman still working in the top of the first inning. Doug No is able to bloop an RBI single into shallow right field, and that one lands right into place for Alleman, unfortunately, for the Blue Devil faithful. And then Doug Cutcomb smokes an RBI base hit into left field right here. 9 runs in the top of the first inning for Alleman. Quincy High trying to get some sort of offense going. Drew Million skies a sac fly into deep left field. That'll bring home a run from third, but the offense just a little bit short today for the Devils. They only get 1 run in the first, and Alleman is all over Quincy High in this game of the doubleheader, 20-3. Your final score. Alleman also sweeps Quincy High because they would win the earlier game this afternoon by a count of 3-1. Let's head on over to Griggsville Perry, who's hosting West Hancock, and you know what? These kids, they just know how to enjoy themselves. They're jamming out to some nice rock and roll provided in Griggsville Perry, and how do you not have a better time than these guys right now? West Hancock, though, trying to ruin that good time for the Griggsville Perry fans as Colin Dooley gives the Titans a 1-0 lead in the top of the first off this RBI single. Almost a great defensive play by Griggsville. Comes up just short. Griggsville Perry ties the game up, then takes a 2-1 lead. So Dooley does it again, as he will bring in the RBI right here in the top of the third and tie this game up at 2 apiece. Oh, but in the bottom of the third, Griggsville Perry would be able to erupt. And this is a great 2-out rally for the Tornadoes. 1 aboard for Stephen Risley, and we have liftoff. It's Risley's 4th home run of the year. The guys provided some unbelievable pop for Griggsville Perry, and this breaks the tie and gives the Tornadoes a lead. And you know what? Next batter, very next pitch, Brock Rumpel, he's got some pop to him as well. He makes it back-to-back jacks, high, deep, and absolutely gone. Not bad at all for Griggsville Perry. He's enjoying himself as well. Jason Hobson gets in on the act as well with an RBI single that you see coming up right now. 8-2 Griggsville Perry after that RBI single, and Griggsville is able to hold on to take game 1 of this doubleheader by a final score of 8-4. Game 2, though, all West Hancock. Paxton Harmon goes 3 for 4. He crosses home plate 3 times, and West Hancock earns a well-deserved split, beating Griggsville Perry in Game 2. Final score there, 15-1. How about a little soccer for you up in Iowa? Holy Trinity, a big win over Keokuk earlier this week. You know what? They had a 2-0 lead in the second half against Burlington today. Justin Rashid finds Ben Rector. His shot's blocked. Marcus Knight's follow-up is blocked as well. Tough doings offensively for Holy Trinity in the second half of this game off the corner restart. This one can't find the back of the net either. Luckily for Holy Trinity, Zach Bartlett and Ben Rector scored 2 goals very early on, gave the Crusaders a 2-0 lead. Unbelievable control by the Crusaders as well. Burlington only had 1 second-half shot, and the Crusaders hold on to win fairly easily in this one, 2-0. And after a couple of big wins this week, Coach Doug Peterson very happy with this team's performance.
Communication was really well. First 2 games we played, indecisions were bad, or our decisions were bad, I should say. We've made better decisions, better choices. Plus you have to replace a few spots, so you got to get kids some familiarity with each other when they're on the field.
Hey, you'll hear much more from Holy Trinity coming up later this week, mainly on how they can follow up on a second-place finish from last year. Other soccer scores for you. Quincy High pays a visit to Moline, improves to 4-0 in conference. This is Q&D's score, rather, that we're showing you. They're in the Parkway Soccer Showcase in St. Louis. Kirkwood, too much for Q&D despite a Shannon Foley goal, 3-2. Quincy High, I should say, thanks to a hat trick from Haley Womack, takes care of Moline. Quincy High is 7-1 and 4-0 in conference. Final score, 4-2 there. Softball scores from today. Tough day at the office for Payson Seymour. They pay a visit to Alton Marquette. Drops game 1 of a doubleheader 2-0. And they've dropped game 2 as well, 8-0. West Prairie with a little bit more luck in doubleheader action against Stark County. They would win game 1 of their double dip 3-2. Stark County gets the better of the Cyclones in game 2, 5-3. And when we come back here on Overtime, we pay a visit to the College Diamond, where Western Illinois continues to host South Dakota State, and yet another career day for Quincy University softball pitcher Tori Bunzel.